into a losing position in 2 moves. I mean, this was a must-win game, but this is horrible. I mean, I feel bad for Ding. This is definitely not his A game, but there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, and it's exactly what I was highlighting during the game. It's almost that the position is so good that losing it would be so disappointing, and that's exactly the reality that Ding has found himself in now. Also, Eric, on top of that, another game has started. Now, it's not the biggest deal, but I'm just saying, after a game like that, you might want to just take a break, reset for the 3+1 section. Instead, with the match clock just at like about 30, 40 seconds when that match ended, they have another game to play before this 5+1 segment ends. And I think for Ding Liren, it can't end quick enough.
It can't end quick enough, but there was a break earlier after Ding had, had a really rough start, and I'm not sure the break's fixing this. I don't think. Yeah, fundamentally, he has some issues here with his blitz game today.
Yeah, he's got some good positions. It hasn't been like complete domination in terms of the game from Hans Niemann. Hans has had some beautiful games, some really one-sided ones, but Ding has had his chances, absolutely. So we're looking at a match where Ding has he's got behind in some games, and then those games have been very easy and very nice conversions, showing a lot of technique from Hans. But when Ding is getting his positions, he's had a few of them, or maybe when Hans is blundering on one move here or there, Ding has not been able to convert. He's had some wins that were only about 1 or 2 moves off from being spotted. Sometimes a win in one that he just hasn't played. So you look back on so many games and just add up the amount of points that Ding has left on the table, so to speak, and it's a lot.
It feels worse that way. Sometimes, you're like, oh, well, at least I played well, I had good positions, but it feels worse. Like Ding, internally, the thought process is often like, how did I lose that? I could win that position in my sleep. Like, it's completely unacceptable, the standard he holds himself to lose some of these positions the way he's losing it. And that's so frustrating to get out of. Like, psychologically, like, what? My chess isn't working today. He's thinking things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And the way he's playing, he would lose to pretty much everyone in this field. If he's not winning these positions, there's so many really resilient, strong, practical blitz players in this SEC field that you give them these chances, you get the confidence, they have the speed, the momentum, and the way Ding's playing, he's just there's no stopping it. I mean, it's you can sense, like, watching this match, you can sense as a spectator, but even as a player, you're playing a weakened opponent or a frustrated opponent that, like, this is my time to strike.
And actually, Eric, that is exactly what I thought was going to work in Ding's favor earlier, because Hans, earlier in this match, overpressed a position that I thought, he probably shouldn't have, but he was doing because he could just feel that, you know what, I have been getting the better side of most general positions today, no matter if they're good or bad. I've just been outplaying my opponent. And when you feel that way, you want to do it every game. You're like, oh, this is another chance to outplay. And so he overpressed in a position, and he probably should have lost for it. Now, because he didn't, it just empowers, right? You're fueled with confidence and momentum from that, and he continues to do it. So I do think there's a way back into this match, but it needs to be from that classic Hans Niemann, overconfidence, which understandable, right? It's 6-1, and he's just been crushing this match so far. It needs to be that moment again, but having missed that opportunity already, you just can't keep letting those opportunities slide. As we're in this last match in the 5+1 section here, Eric, and looking at this position, I see the knight on c5, the pawn on a4. Immediately, I do like the look of Hans' position, because if you want to win that a pawn, you're going to have to give up your dark squared bishop, which is the decision he's come to now.
I think Black is doing fine, but at least we have imbalances here. White has the connected passed pawns on the queen side, which is a nice win condition. If you can start pushing them, Ideally, you'd like to maybe trade off a pair of bishops, maybe the light squared bishops. So
Mm-hmm.
since the bishop's in the way of the A pawn and black's bishop on B7 is very good. So I'm looking at maybe ideas like B4, maybe bishop C2, bishop E4. Black has the majority on the king side, but it's not that easy to push. You can play for the F pawn. If you push the D pawn, E5 is critically weak. So looking at ways, you have to push those queenside pawns. No matter what, we're talking about the psychology. Ding has to earn respect from Hans. Right now,
Yep.
that hasn't happened. You have to earn it. You need Hans to start, thinking, getting worried, tough decisions. Where's that? Where's he going to
Yeah, it
find
hasn't
that?
happened. Hasn't happened yet. And the other reason why you can sort of maybe
Ding should be
sense,
playing right away, by the way. I know, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, but he's down
no, I
2 minutes.
mean, it's exactly what
That's
I was
not
going to
going
say.
to win any respect. Down 2
Yeah.
minutes in a normal position.
Yeah,
No.
no, exactly right. You're when you see your opponent thinking this much, you just know that their decisions are not confident ones because simply, if there was a confident decision, it would have happened quicker. So you just know that Hans is sensing whatever move happens after this 1.5 minute think. I'm just going to respond quickly and let my opponent doubt himself.
White needs a way to mobilize those queenside pawns. Black playing G6, great move by Hans. You can play it quickly, gives your king some space, shuts down that diagonal. Maybe Black plays F5, but you don't need to. It's up to Ding. And Ding is taking 20, 30 seconds a move in a normal position.
It's
I mean,
far too much.
Bishop E4. Finally, he's played it, provoking
Mhm.
D5, but at least the position can open up. That took a while. Does that help Hans? Probably. He can place the bishop on F6. Maybe queen goes to A7. But D5 is a target here.
Mhm.
We can't have a sharp position with bishops, queens, rooks on the board, imbalances, and you can't expect to play well down 3 minutes.
Exactly. You need more time to navigate a position like this. Knight c7 or knight c3, trying to hit the d5 pawn, but I mean, the pawns are rolling down the
Okay,
board.
at least there's some activity here. Yes, there's more risk, but in Ding's position, risk is an issue. He's down huge in this match.
Hmm.
Just at least there's targets. At least the e4 pawn is targeted. At least f7. This bishop is looking at f7. At least maybe bishop takes b2. Maybe there's queen b6. I don't know if queen b6 works. It's just a move I'm looking at. It's very
Hmm.
sharp.
That's even better after bishop takes b2. Honestly a simple fork when you think about it, but a difficult move to spot in terms of the geometry and with 20
Bishop
seconds
d5.
ticking down. Oof.
Smart move. It takes away a lot of the risk. In Hans's situation, he doesn't need wins. He's well ahead in the match.
Yep.
All he needs to do is prevent Ding from finding
Takes on
momentum.
a3.
Oh, this isn't it. Just trade the queens.
Yeah,
This
you
is
can't
only a
lose.
2-2 result game. And with 10 seconds to 3 minutes, Hans is thinking, do I keep the queens on the board or not? But even if you trade the queens, you have that extra D pawn. I don't mind that decision based on the clock situation and the way Ding is playing. If you keep the queens on the board, it's like Ding's going to flag.
Hmm. Yeah, he made probably not the objectively best move. As we can see here, that bishop on b2 is not really in a good spot. But okay, the pawn is going to get to d2 here. There's another strange decision.
This is just suffering. This is just entirely suffering, and it's close to losing. Practically speaking, 7 seconds. Safe king.
Yep, and there's going to be an idea like queen takes on d1 coming soon. Rook b1 is there. I don't know what to say. There's nothing to play
Game
here.
over.
That pawn is queening.
Maybe I'll throw in a check first. Oh, I guess you can do everything. Yeah, check first and then queen.
Hmm. Yeah, you
You
can
can
take the
yeah,
rook as
yeah, yeah.
well.
So it's just not even competitive there. Ding's clock management, completely unacceptable.